So Scott Burke Surfboards gave me this 8-foot foamie a couple months ago. Same one that they sell at select Costco's. And I've had a chance to test it out in ankle high to a few feet, several feet overhead. And today I'm going to give my honest review on the board and let you know if you should add one of these to your quiver. Traction pad is a little better than the Jerry. These fin boxes are a little better than the Jerry. I ride it as a twin fin. I gotta take this black cap off. See how next time I'm taking this off, see how it rides. I usually ride a twin fin with size large Jordy Smith Futures fins. The list of why I like foamies, and especially this Scott Burke foamie, is fairly long, and I'm going to list them throughout this video. But one of the main reasons I like the foamies is with the right fin setup, and once you get used to riding it, you can actually surf it kind of like a shortboard. You can do maneuvers, and on my 10-foot single fin, I have a hard time doing any maneuvers. It's much easier on this 8-foot foamie. So this first clip was an ankle to knee-high day at Cardiff Reef. And it's going to show that I can catch a tiny wave and get a nice long ride and even do a little off the lip at the end. Of course, it's not as maneuverable as a shortboard, but if you can do maneuvers on a shortboard or this, you can go back and forth pretty easily. This next wave was a pretty steep and fast, several feet overhead bomb at La Jolla Shores. And I rode it backside and handled no problem. The drop was no problem and it flew down the line. I know the GoPro, especially with the hyperview angle, doesn't do it justice. It looks like it's head high, maybe. But trust me, it was several feet overhead. I've taken the Jerry in double overhead plus surf conditions many times, and it handled it no problem. You can watch one of the videos right here where it was like double overhead at Quartz in Hawaii. So this next clip shows how well these foamies paddle as I scramble out the back to get over this bomb that was several feet overhead. So back to showing the maneuverability of these boards as I bust a pretty big floater on like a head high, slightly overhead wave. This is the same wave as the previous clip, except it's the drone view obviously, and you can see that it's head high, maybe a slightly overhead on the floater section. On this next clip, I bust out a pretty decent backside roundhouse cutback. Again, showing the maneuverability of these 8-foot foamies. This clip is a waist to chest high day at Cardiff, and I nearly get a 20-second ride on the board all the way to the beach. It shows how much glide these boards have. And I finished with a nice little lip hit at the end. This clip is a day at Swami's. It was a small day, maybe knee to waist high, kind of high tide, so it's kind of soft, but I managed a nice little cutback right here with some spray, and this wave ended up being a 30-second ride all the way to the beach. On our way to the beach, I also wanted to mention another reason I like the foamies is because they are really hard to ding versus a regular traditional surfboard. Board is still going. I mean, this thing is like ankle high now, and I'm still gliding along, finally making it to the beach. This clip I attempt a nose ride and get fairly close to the nose, but nose rides on an 8-foot foamie when you're 200 pounds isn't the easiest. So this is actually the Jerry Lopez board, but just wanted to show that you can get little tubes on the 8-foot foamie. And this wave I finally get a little head dip tube shot on the Scott Burke. This is yet another reason I like the foamies. When you're surfing a new spot and it's kind of sketchy, like near the rocks, and you'll see on the following clip the entry and exit to the spot is like over a bunch of reef and rocks. The foamies are perfect because you don't have to worry about dinging your $1,000 surfboard. This clip shows yet another reason you should have one of these Scott Burke foamies in your quiver, because it's a great board for beginners of all ages. So should you add one of these Scott Burke foamies to your quiver? I think you already know I'm going to say most definitely you should. For $116, why wouldn't you? And you can pick them up at select Costco's right now. And if you can't get the Scott Burke, you should get whatever 8-foot foamie they have and add it to your quiver, because it's nothing but fun. Well worth the price.
And if you want to see more of foamies in action, check out my Surfing $100 Surfboard series, link right here. And check out my Scott Burke, testing out the Scott Burke series, link right here. See you on the next one. Aloha.